Things have been heating up in recent weeks. Just last week, 4 people were killed in a single day in various Israeli military operations. So that situation has been heating up for some time. The fact that Israel has a far-right government committed to building settlements, committed to controlling the West Bank, also has contributed to the atmosphere by raising tensions and by pushing for even harder military action in the West Bank. Plus, tensions have been rising in the Gaza Strip recently. Only last week, or 2 weeks ago, Hamas was orchestrating protests along the border to put pressure on Israel and to put pressure on the international community to send more money and to allow more Palestinians to work inside Israel because the economy is so bad there right now. So when you take the security situation in the West Bank, the economic situation in the Gaza Strip, the conditions are ripe for some sort of conflict. Now, the third factor is the internal Israeli situation. Israel is deeply divided. This Israeli government has been very divisive. It is going forward with a program to overhaul the country's judicial system, and this has led to mass protests across the country and led many military reservists to stop serving, to stop coming to report for duty. As a result, there are concerns inside Israel that the army appears weak and is losing its power of deterrence and its power of readiness. Now, Hamas may have looked at this and seen, or at least perceived, a weak Israel and decided that the time was ripe to strike. The Israeli army is still operating down there, and they have not said whether they're in control. There are reports of hostage situations and gun battles that are continuing throughout the day. So that is priority number 1 in the short term. Prime Minister Netanyahu, though, has spent the day with his security chiefs, with his military commanders, and they are plotting a deeper, more long-term response. We can expect to see more airstrikes. Those have already been happening throughout the day, but there's also plans to call up additional military troops, the possibility of a ground incursion. They haven't said yet what they're going to do. The one thing that they have promised, Prime Minister Netanyahu says, there will be a heavy price. The international reaction has been pretty swift and pretty predictable. Israel's allies in the West have condemned Hamas and expressed concerns about the bloodshed. Some of Hamas's allies, Hamas is not internationally recognized, but it does have some allies. So you have seen groups like the Hezbollah militant group praising this Hamas operation. But the key player, the one country that you really want to keep your eyes on in the coming days is Egypt. Egypt has relations with Israel, and it also borders Gaza. It has relations with both sides. Egypt often serves as a mediator between these two bitter enemies, brokering ceasefires and other agreements. So we want to keep an eye on Egypt to see what they can do. Given the scope of this operation, given the death toll, it's likely that this crisis is going to drag on for some time, and oftentimes the fighting gets a lot worse before the conditions are ripe for Egypt to come in and reach some sort of agreement.